Look out, we got dust storms from Africa, smoke pouring in from Canada, eruptions around the planet, volcanic, and now lakes forming behind landslides in Switzerland. And beside all the incredible events geopolitically happening around the world, economic as well, we're having the uptick in nature. So many things have just stepped up a full level. Wanted to look at a couple of them. Starting with the eruption on Etna, now it's getting dangerous to even go up there. People are running away. But this is the pyroclastic flow taking a look far away. Now imagine being at the Airbnb right there. You're just on holiday and you get that, see that. I would still be nervous that it would continue toward me. And a lot of people notice that this might tick off into something much, much larger, which it could have in comparing to historical past. This is a small eruption. And since we're in Europe, let's just stay on the same Alps. You're right over in Switzerland. Glacier that calved off, causing a massive landslide, buried in part of a village in Switzerland. Wide view for you, the aftermath of where it doesn't look like so much of a glacier caved. It did, but that is a full-on landslide that took away part of the rock in the mountain there. So I guess it was a glacial rock slide, both. But you can see the aftermath. There were homes that survived the actual slide, but now the water's pouring in from every single direction, except downstream, obviously. It's coming in from both sides of the valley and then upstream where the head of the valley is. Coming into summer, all that snow's melting. Going to get more and more. We are going from the left to the right, as you can see the lakes filling up in that village behind the landslide. Water's going to break through sometime and head straight down exactly through that pass. Unknown when, but they've already put out the evacuation orders. You can see the lake's getting big enough where it's starting to find its way through some of these cracks and crevices. And everything you see behind that, that's all melting and is going to be filling up, pooling right in this exact area. So up both sides of the valley, and then as you can see at the very top of the peaks there, it looks like that drainage takes it all the way right where it's filling in front of the village. And you know, water's tenacious. It just doesn't stop. So here's your flow so far. This is coming in from what you see, the two mountain sides. That's not filling up from behind. It's just springs and streams are just finding their way into the middle of the landslide. Now the actual punch through in the earthen dam hasn't occurred yet, but they've given the evacuation orders all the way downstream. Because of this will be a large amount of water moving at the same time. And since there was so much talk of the glacier calving, found this slide here of glaciers around the world over time growing or shrinking. So if you're able to screen grab that, covers areas mostly in the northern hemisphere. There's a couple down in New Zealand, but it'll show you the general state of glaciers moving forward. Now, is this on a cycle 2 where suddenly it reverses and they start growing again? What cycle is that? Because we know that there's a direct correlation between the sun, the activity on the sun, and how many earthquakes or volcanoes erupt on our planet here. The lower the activity on the sun, there's a relationship of more galactic cosmic rays come in, penetrate the crust of our Earth, pressures build, and there's more eruptions because of lower magnetic shielding around our planet, for a better term. Sun goes low, magnetosphere, and we're in a weakening magnetic field anyway, and expect more volcanoes and earthquakes as we come into solar minimum in this time, and there's that correlation. Landslides and glaciers, every single summer, all these snowpack melts and flows off. But then, in the winter, when that water fills in, it expands, the ice expands. So how many times does it have to expand, thaw, expand, thaw, expand, thaw before something breaks off? That was clearly part of the mountain there, as well as the glacier on the top. Didn't look like it was 100% glacier, but definitely a mix, maybe 50-50, but that was for sure a lot of earth involved in that. There's a well-known saying on Wall Street, sell in May and go away. This year, even the big players are echoing that sentiment. Bank of America and UBS are both urging caution, advising investors to sell the rally. Markets are still struggling to regain their footing. We've seen over $11 trillion in wealth erased from U.S. equities, and the broader economic outlook remains uncertain. Historically, periods like this have often led to increases in central bank intervention, which more often than not means more money printing and a weaker dollar. In uncertain environments, one asset has shown remarkable resilience over thousands of years: physical gold. And Goldman Sachs is projecting a possible rise to $4,000 an ounce by 2026. If you're looking for stability in turbulent times, owning physical gold can offer a level of diversification and protection that paper assets simply can't. Here's the next step. Call Monetary Gold at 1-888-570-2636. Ask how you can hold gold in a tax-advantage IRA and what incentives they have today. Again, that's 1-888-570-2636. And tell them Adapt 2030 sent you. Which brings me to the thickest smoke, that dark red and dark purples passing through Michigan and Wisconsin. That's going to end up everywhere. Even west of the Mississippi, all the way back into Texas. The smoke. So if you're feeling it in your eyes are itchy, something's wrong with the eyes, in addition to the solar storm, that KPA plus index just a few days back, plus the smoke, plus the African dust. And you can see a lot of agitation right now. Now this is just a snapshot in time here on June 2nd, and the images, even back on the 1st, are profound. You look at that, whoa, how is that all concentrating in such a small area? Like, that would be stay inside type of thing. Not that you're ordered to, but when you're looking at that kind of smoke density, it's just smart too. But out on the wispy edges there, if they're staying inside, go about your business. But I mean, on the inside there, that's pretty thick. That's like being in the middle of a forest fire, surrounded by that smoke, hard to breathe. Now, as we move through the next few days here, this is going to start to move offshore. You can see it getting peeled back. You can actually see where the jet stream dips there. Look at that, right over the Great Lakes. And that is a dip in the jet stream, and you can see clearly. Which just shows you the vastness of some of these weather fronts that can come through, and truly how much of an area they can cover with completely different conditions than somewhere else. That's going to pass through deep into the southeast, way down into Gulf of Mexico, Texas, etc. But then if the fires stop, it will clean out. If not, it looks like there's more even further north coming from Yukon, like far north. This continues like something with the tundras on fire that looks from this image. But we'll see moving forward. Going to run you with the model here as the smoke passes through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so you can adjust if you have asthma or any kind of problems breathing. This definitely will affect you as much as pollen would. And speaking of dusty, African roads here, it looks in pretty good condition to be all dirt like that, a highway. And here comes your dust cloud. This is coming in from the Caribbean, passing over again through the next few days, and how long it will linger, and then combine with the smoke that's here too. So we're going to get a double combination coming over the southeast U.S. Take a look at one of the models here. It shows you where the dust is currently and the optical thickness, like how light penetrates through that dust canopy. Obviously, the darker it is, the denser it is. Continues to come off of West Africa every single year, but this year it seems to be a bit heavy. And check out the concentrations. If you see where the Caribbean is, United States. Now, we're going to get all that first pulse of dust come up in through the weekend, along with the combination of the smoke coming from the wildfires. But if you look over in Africa, look at what is going to come. There's several more. They're just stacking up. You can see them, just lines coming off. First one is orange. Second was red directly behind it. Then there's a third one forming further up, like, I don't know, southern Libya, Chad area, about ready to take off going west. And even up further wide out, Null School taking us all the way earth view. Some of the storms down in the south as well. Not so much dust, but definitely stormy. And since we can just see the periphery of Antarctica, decided to bring it out here on a grayscale map for you. Antarctica, the unknown continent found and discovered in the 1800s. Oh wait, is that a map from 1594? How did they map our Antarctica coast already if it wasn't even discovered until the 1800s? Which makes me question a lot of timelines that we're told. Are we really on these cycles that repeat and return? This one seems to be a disruptor for our current civilization. Now, these amplification events that we're starting to see, volcanoes more frequent, earthquakes more frequent, extreme storms, definitely the norm now. And then we start to find old maps that show, wait, they already had things mapped out that weren't even supposedly discovered until certain time frames, centuries later. So right there, that has to make you question what we're told. Is it really the true history of the rise and fall of these great civilizations through our past? Or was it masked because they knew, for example, in this particular lifetime of ours, this cycle would return and reset the world again? It's for you to decide. I'm just presenting the information for you. Hope you got something out of the video. In times like these, you're going to need to grow your own food. TrueLeafMarket.com, Heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on the planet. That link's in the description box below, along with the story, links to tonight, what I discussed, and you can share with your friends and family. Please remember to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.